Hello. Hello, everybody. Get your coffee, get your beer, whatever you're going to be sipping on while we do this. And we will be started here very shortly. Ver shortly. Ver shortly. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sunday. Sunday is a very important day because there's only 7 days in a week, so every day has to be kind of important. Mindy, what's going on? How you doing? What have you been up to, Mindy? The weather out here is kind of bad, actually. I don't know if you could hear the wind, but it's been very, very stormy. And yesterday it rained so crazy. Like, I'm not even joking. It was like, I don't know. Like, I don't think there's been a storm like that since I've been here. And apparently, all over Southern California, there are a lot of storms with like flood warnings and all sorts of other stuff. So it's been really crazy. I don't know if you guys would be able to see it. I kind of want to like walk you around so you could see, because like I have a pretty good view of everything. So you could see the storm clouds there, the sun coming through here. Bunny, what's going on? Bunny's here. Bunny's here. Hello. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see if we could do this. We'll just do a quick little gander. Every time I try to do something like this, it doesn't work very well. So let's see. Takes a minute. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. If I go up. No, it's too bright out there. Is it better on this window? No. Okay. How about here, where the sun isn't burning us? Nope. Okay. Tough, guys. You can't see it. I would go outside with you, but the wind is blowing so hard that you wouldn't be able to hear any great information that I would be sharing with you guys. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. We're going to be talking about finishing off this year strong, but also setting our intentions for next year. And the reason why we're doing this now is because the holidays are coming up. And if you put this kind of stuff on hold, you will find pretty soon it's January 2nd and you haven't planned anything. You haven't decided what you want 2026 to do, at least in America, in the States. We have like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. And it all happens so quick. And especially with the over commercialized American West, as soon as Thanksgiving hits, if you haven't bought Christmas presents for every single person you've ever known, you're a piece of crap. And if you don't have your Christmas cards set up for everybody, you're screwed. If you don't have your advent calendars with all your sweets or Bath and Body Works stuff or lingerie or whatever the hell advent calendar you have, if you don't have those ready to go, you're kind of spent. So for a lot of us, especially the creative types, this time of year is really hard for us to get anything done because we also feel horribly selfish that we are putting our needs before the needs of our family and the needs of our friends and all this other stuff. And then, God forbid, any of you have any kind of tragedy or bad news during this time of year, and then you're done. Like you're basically on hold until mid-January. So, not to scare you guys or like be a total downer, but like, like taking care of this stuff now, or at least putting the wheels in motion in your head, is how we can get through the rest of this year. Have a good end of 2025 and feel good about the things that are happening in 2026. So for those of you who do like Google calendars or reminder notifications like yearly or something like that, you should probably put like a reminder for like November 15th to start really getting ready to figure out how you're going to finish the year and what your expectations for next year are. Just so you have time to like kind of go over it and try to think about what it is you want. Some of you may want a break. Some of you may not want to do anything. Yeah, that is good thinking. I like planning early. It makes me excited. Yeah, Mindy's a total planner. I mean, Mindy probably already knows what like readathons she's going to be doing for the next 6 months, maybe even longer. Mindy, put a list. Like, what thing are you doing in January, February, March, April? Like, write them all down in the chat. Let's see. What athons are we missing? This is gonna be good. I know March is March Mystery Madness. I don't know if that's still going on. And there's also March of the Mammoths. I don't know if that's going on anymore. And then you have Shaketober, or is it Shaketember? I don't know. There's some Shakespeare thing in one of the fall months. Yeah, but I'm just trying to remember. And then there's Garbage August or Garbergerst or something like that. And then there's a Faulkner month too. I can't remember what that is. I don't know. And then May is something. Is it like Mayhem or something? I don't know. But yeah, so there's all sorts of read-alongs and stuff like that to do. I don't know, and maybe Mindy knows about this because I'm not really in the community much anymore. I don't know what I want, so I should plan to figure that out. Exactly. So let's think about it. And honestly, planning to think about it, you don't have to like have all the answers. It's just, what would you like to get done? Like, is there anything that you would feel good doing? Whether it's like oil painting for the first time, or finishing that poetry collection, or working on a novel. Like, they don't have to be grand plans. You just have to have the spark of an idea. And then over the next like month or so, in your free time while you're wrapping presents or doing whatever the hell it is you're doing, you could kind of think about like, oh, what would be a kind of cool thing? Like, you have to intentionally like think about what you want. I think a lot of people, artists especially, we have this thing where, not that everything is magical, but just that inspiration will hit and we'll just be off to the races. So we're just waiting for the voice to tell us to go. And yes, there is some truth to that, but it's kind of like a thing where, what's a good example? You have to turn the TV on to be able to watch the show you want to watch. You know, you have to call and order the pizza to have the pizza be brought to your house. You know, like you have to do something. You need to like let the muses know that you're ready and willing and able to do this next thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got one. I'd like to put another collection together that makes me happy about merit. Boom. Okay. So with you saying that, so let's just use Bunny as an example here. Bunny wants to put another collection together. Okay. Do you already have pieces that you think would go well in a collection? Or do you want to write one from scratch? You know? Think about it like that. Where was I going with this amazing television watching and pizza delivery thing? Well, let me give you a little bit about what like my intentions are basically going to be. So, while this year is wrapping up, Seasons of the Muse is going to come out. So that's awesome. Black Star is, we're either going to be like starting to shoot it, or we've been running into logistical problems because we got pushed too close to the holidays. That was terrifying. Oh my God, it's so windy. But hopefully getting a little closer to filming would be great. And then by mid-January, I'm going to be back in LA. I will be leaving the desert here. But for those of you who aren't members, you guys haven't heard about this yet, but I do have a solo art show in January, and I'm super freaking excited about it and totally overwhelmed at the same time. I believe it's going to be called Understanding Life Through Chaos is going to be the title of the show. And it's going to have a lot of my Mad World series, my Black Sand series, and then more likely than not, Forest Through the Trees, and then my new series I'm finishing up right now called Attention, and then a couple other paintings. And like right now, I'm trying to like whittle it down and all this other stuff. Some of you who have done solo shows, give me an idea as to if I'm going overboard with this, but I have about 45 paintings that are going to be in the show, give or take. There is a situation where I'm sure I have enough time to do it, but like I need to get probably about 8 of my bigger paper paintings framed, and I'm not excited about that. I feel like the look of the show is going to be totally destroyed, and I know I'm being like kind of a snooty little fucker about it, but I feel like having all of these bare canvases and then having these neatly framed paintings are going to, I don't know, I don't like how I see that looking in my head. And the gallery itself, it's a big room, but it is just one room. And I was talking to the director about like dividing the room up and if there was any way to do that. And if there is, then I might not have a problem putting framed pictures in there. But if that becomes an issue, then I'm probably going to take the forest through the trees paintings out of the show, which kind of bums me out. But anyway, so it opens on January 16th at the High Desert Arts Association gallery. And the gala is January 17th. Starting at 5. So if you are in the High Desert area and you would like to come see me and see my show, I would greatly appreciate it. And there's a part of me, because I'm a lunatic, I'm like, oh, I should definitely put together an art book of the paintings that are going to be in the show and have that there. I should definitely do that. That's something I should do right away. I still have to finish all the certificates and all the sales contracts and everything for each piece that's going to be in the show. That's going to take fucking forever. So, it is what it is. Let's see. I'm doing Folklore February. I have not heard of that. Give me some like types of books that you would read for Folklore February. March of the Mammoths, Old School April, Battle of the Bands in April, Horror Mayhem, that's what it is. Zombie-thon in May. Giallo July. Look at me say July. Garbage. I can never say that. Week of Weird in September. Okay. So what? Okay. Oh my gosh. Giallo July. Who started that? Who's doing that? What books are? Is it basically just kind of gory murder mysteries? For Horror Mayhem and Zombie-thon, are you going to be like doing the same books for both to kind of tick both of them off? And Old School April, what does that mean? Like classics? And Battle of the Bands. Like, I have way too many questions. And then Week of the Weird. What is that? Oh my gosh. Mindy already has most of her year planned out, at least what book she's going to read. I remember doing that. That was kind of fun. But you know what would happen? Towards the end of the year, I would be so sad at all the books that I had on my TBR shelves for the group reads I was going to do. And then realizing that I never read like 90% of them and I got new books to read during all of those things. What a nightmare. Oh man, that wind is coming. Anyway, let me see. My theme for the last while has been about my mother's passing, so maybe I should start from scratch. That, if I'm honest, Bunny, that might be very cathartic and very healing for you. But what I would like tell you as far as like to take care of yourself in doing it, do not be hard on yourself. Do not judge yourself. Do not say this isn't good, this isn't very good, blah, 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 whatever. Just get the words down and do it with as little inner editor as possible, because you are just going through stages of grief. Maybe that's what you should do. Like, look at the different stages of grief and just like use each like thing and write one poem about that and just kind of like puke out what those things are and see how you feel. If you're having a hard time kind of starting that. The Bookubus does Giallo July. It is reading thrillers and mysteries and slasher type books. It's a watchathon to watch giallo films. Okay, well, if you need to figure out what giallo films to watch, make sure you listen to the Giallo Chow Chow podcast. There's over 100 episodes. So that's fun. I was on the last episode and we did Case of the Bloody Iris, which is one of my favorites. But like Blood and Black Lace, Case of the Bloody Iris, Strange Vice and Miss Ward is really good too. Eyeball, one of my favorites. Strip Nude for Your Killer is a good one too. What are some other? Oh, Bay of Blood or Twitch of the Death Nerve, depending on which release you're watching. That's a lot of fun. I'm not a huge fan of Lenzi, and then kind of not the biggest Argento fan, but Bird with the Crystal Plumage is really good. But basically anything by Sergio Martino, Umberto Lenzi, or Mario Bava. Ooh, $5 for an August Moon. I love that movie. Oh, that's one of my favorites. Black Belly of the Tarantula, another gem. Oh my gosh, I'm giddy right now. That might be something I jump into because that's amazing. I combine Zombiethon and Horror Mayhem. They work well together. Yeah, I bet. That sounds good. Week of Weird is for weird fiction and any book you consider weird. Who started that one? It's so funny because I remember all the ones I started. I started Agathon, and that was just like an Agatha Christie one. And then what was the one that I almost lost my channel over? It was a Star Trek one. It was a Boldly Govember. And on the like announcement video for it, I had the beginning of the Star Trek thing where it was just like the whatever, like you could barely hear it, and then like there was like a little bit of the words, but then I cut it off, but it was like over 3 seconds, and it was a strike on my account, and then I had to take the video down. And then the next video I did for it, I didn't have any music on it, but I was just talking about having the music on it and talking about the Boldly Govember thing, and that got a strike. And it was like, if you get one more strike in the next 6 months, you lose your channel. And I was terrified. Yeah, Jason's awesome. Jason came on the Weird Mask podcast before, and we were doing that for a little bit too. Week of Weird. Oh yeah. Fiber Artsy. I don't know that channel. I'll have to take a look at that. So anyway, I have completely lost track of everything I was talking about. And then there's some other really cool things that are happening. For those of you who aren't members watching this, Black Star, I have some like contracts coming in. And if the I haven't really been talking about it because I don't want to like jinx everything, but I have some contracts coming, and if the contracts are good and I sign the contracts, I will share with you guys what is going on with Black Star. But it is potentially extremely amazing. And so I'm very excited about that. I'm also meeting this week with a different producer slash distributor for there could be some Black Star talk, but what's kind of also exciting, it could be for something completely different. So there might be another film project on the horizon with them, but there has been talks of another film project with other producers as well. So the film stuff is seems to be like moving forward at kind of a decent pace. So that's kind of cool. But what I have decided next year is going to be when I was much younger in the film business, I did everything. I wrote, directed, produced, all through pre-production, development, post-production, and basically line produced my own films. And it just had this constant machine going where when one project was in post-production, like, so we already finished shooting it. Well, even if a movie was in pre-production, I was usually shooting another movie. And if I was shooting another movie with another movie in pre-production, I still had one in development that I was talking to people about, trying to raise funds for. And then it would be like when the project I was shooting went into post-production, the pre-production film usually went into a production, and the in development film was in pre-production. The production of any film is usually the shortest timetable as far as putting a movie together. At least for me it was. So production was almost like post-production. Like in development and pre-production, I had already planned everything, every shot. So the actual shooting of it was almost the nauseating thing I had to do just to be able to get to start cutting the movie. So, but I also did a lot of the music for my movies too. So, yeah, but what I feel like what I'm going to do now, because I'm not a young man anymore. I've always thought I was, but I'm just too fucking tired. I'm exhausted. And I have so many other things that I like to do and want to do. Oh, wow. I need to tighten. Oh, man, I bet the spa's full of dust. I need to tighten those straps. That's coming up too high. Anyway, that's another problem for another day. But I don't want to do much production anymore. I don't mind filming a movie. I don't mind working in post-production with somebody, but I don't want to do it all myself. And I definitely don't want to do pre-production. I don't mind doing like development stuff, but I need producing partners. I can't do it all myself anymore. So 2026, that's going to be the new leaf I turn over. I will make whatever films or shows come my way as a writer and a director, but I'm kind of over being a producer. It's nonstop work, and I have way too many other things in my life to do. So that's something that's very hard for me, because I am notorious for not wanting to let go of things and trusting other people to help me do things. So it's going to be a learning curve for sure. The other thing that is going on is that the Black Star books are going to be coming out again. And I had a couple different thoughts about how I was going to do it. And I'm pretty sure I understand how that's going to work now. So that is going to be something that is really exciting and fun. Like, no joke, I'm so thrilled to be re-releasing the Black Star books, just because I don't know what it is, but like, you do things that you as an artist feel is the right thing to do, and then people who know better than you tell you that you're doing something wrong and you need to change it. And in going over all the Black Star stuff, after the initial run of Black Star, and I took them all down and then did what these marketing people told me to do, the books were released 4 different times, completely different. At least is like how the covers were, what genre they should be, how they would be marketed. And it was all to like bring more awareness to Black Star. And all it did was make it worse, because a lot of the buzz that surrounded Black Star was how it was originally marketed. And that really bummed me out. So going back to how it was originally supposed to be is going to be a lot of fun. So I am looking forward to that. And I know I had a bunch of different ideas for it. So what I think I'm going to do is do the first book on Christmas Eve and the second book on the 1st of January, and just have it be every month the new episode's going to come out. And not do it weekly, do it monthly, let it have time to breathe. And then it'll be like over 2 years before we get caught up to where I am right now in Black Star. So that's plenty of time. Like, it'll grow, it'll be good. I feel good about it. Another thing, as far as the poetry goes, unless the only way this is going to change, you know what? I'm going to leave you guys on that one. Can we do that? Can I leave you on a cliffhanger? I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger. I'll be right back, guys. Go get some coffee. I have some big news for you. Oh, wait, no, we got to do this one. Nope, sorry. This one? Yeah. Sorry, guys, I had to tinkle, and now I'm going to get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Hoo-wee. Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. I was just like sitting here going, oh, I've had like 6 cups of coffee today and haven't gone to the bathroom once. Maybe I should do that. Okay, let me see. Oh yeah, Old School April is hosted by Slime and Slashers. Don't know that channel either. It is read books and watch movies that are from a nostalgic time or get a nostalgic time for you. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. That's pretty interesting. Let me see here. You know what's funny? When I was, and I think I talked about this before, but when I was selling a lot of my paperback collection of like my paperbacks from hell and stuff like that, I still have tons. But when I was first selling them, probably like 2 years ago, like finding out that some of them were worth like hundreds of dollars, like blew my fucking mind. I couldn't, like, I was just like, what? So that was just fun. Like, I know getting rid of stuff like that is really hard, especially if you're just like a big, like, collector slash hoarder type person, or you love the smell of rotting paper in your house, which is such a yummy smell. It does smell so good. But just there were some of those books that like I had and I read once and they were just on a shelf. And I don't know, like I keep going through this thing where I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I wish other people could read this book. Or I know that there will be someone out there who will read this book like 5 times. And I'm not that person. So stuff like that was kind of easy to get rid of some things. But anyway, so Black Star is going to be great. As far as the poetry goes, and this is dependent on a couple things. So my poetry plan for next year is a little up in the air, but there's going to be a couple different routes I could go. The model that I have been doing, basically since I stopped doing monthly chapbooks, has not worked. And I don't mean it hasn't worked as far as nobody cares, but more so it hasn't worked for me. Like, I'm not happy with how it's going. So, for those of you who don't know, like I used to do monthly chapbooks, like paper. I should probably go grab some just to show you guys because I have some other news coming up to talk about. But I was doing monthly chapbooks for a few years and obviously came out with a ridiculous amount of chapbooks. And that was very good. And I enjoyed making them. I enjoyed doing them. It was a lot of fun. They sold well and all that. But when I got to a place where I didn't think I was going to have a printer, I wasn't going to be able to do it. Having them printed elsewhere, the cost was just way too much for what the initial price of the books were going to be. So it just didn't make any sense. So I decided I would stop doing the monthly chapbooks and do monthly ebook releases. And that has not gone great. And I didn't do it constantly. I think I put 5 or 6 up. And I don't know if it's the small books digitally just isn't exciting or whatever, or if it was the fact that I only did, I think, 2 brand new books that I never made ebook, or I never made chapbooks of. So that might have been it too. But I think what I'm going to do, and this is going to take a little bit more work, but that's okay. But just start doing like quarterly big collections of my poetry. And I think I'm going to alternate between either previously released stuff or brand new stuff. So like 2 new collections or whatever a year, and 2 previously released collections, or do something where like the book of poems about LA that have never been released will be in a collection that also has the Los Angeles chapbook and the MacArthur Park chapbook. That might be something I do, where I like do kind of both and see how that goes. But yeah, so that's kind of a plan. And I don't know when that'll happen, because I guess it'll happen with Seasons of the Muse. That'll be the first one. So early 2026, there will be a paperback and ebook version of Seasons of the Muse on Amazon. On top of that, I don't know if you guys know this, I think it's in beta, but I got asked to do it. But there is a complete AI audiobook maker on Amazon. And for those of you who follow BookTube or AuthorTube more than I do, I'm sure people have been talking about this. But it used to be, if you wanted like a Amazon exclusive audiobook for Audible, you would go through ACX and do like a profit share with whoever reads the book. But apparently now some robot voice that sounds like a person will just read your book for you. So that's kind of exciting, but also kind of terrifying. And I don't know how I feel about that. But that would be nice to be able to get the books in audio form, because that'll happen a lot quicker than me reading my fiction. So that's a whole thing. So like at least 4 big poetry collections will be coming out next year. So that's cool. Like I feel like that is a very easy thing for me to do. And I'm not going to be doing crowdfunding stuff anymore. I know I've said that before, but like I just don't think all of the, because honestly, the Seasons of the Muse stuff, just putting that book together was very difficult for me to do. And doing the campaign on top of it was really, really exhausting emotionally for me. So I would just rather not do that. Maybe there are ways I can do like special editions. Like, I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. But yeah, I just would rather get the work out there right now. But poetry in ebook form, I don't know. I haven't been sold on it as a good way of doing something as of yet. I'm sure like technology and my annoyance will figure it out. Oh, but what I was going to say about Black Star is I'm really hoping to be able to have paperback and ebooks available on the same day. So we'll see how that goes. In the past, when I've done paperbacks of individual episodes, whether it was in zine format or in like small paperback format, those were limited edition runs, and it was not like a print on demand thing. So I have no idea how that's going to go, but that's going to be some work to do. So that's the next thing for 2026. Now the art. This is where I am very like excited to talk about this. I something has to change with my art. I'm hoping to be in a place where I can experiment more and actually spend time on my work. But I keep going through these things where it's like, what am I trying to do? Like, I understand that the painting is very cathartic for me and helpful for me to express myself, the whole thing. But like, what am I trying to achieve? And yesterday I spent all day just kind of meditating on like, why the fuck do I paint? And this is kind of where a lot of this like setting intentions for next year comes from, because I'm like, okay, I have maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hang on. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 paintings that I want to finish that I have started this year that I haven't finished yet. And there's a part of me that hopes that they will end up in the Understanding Life Through Chaos show in January. And I love making those paintings, and I did those paintings, and I understand what I was doing with those paintings. But I feel like it's time to do something else. It's time to move to the next level of what I want to do as a painter. And so I've been like trying to figure out what it is that I want to do. And I feel like what I hope to find every time I start painting, every time I get a canvas out and I'm getting excited and I'm going to do something to it, I think what I'm trying to find is a way to, like, I don't want to use the word violence, but like to like chaotically, gesturally, aggressively get out my feelings, my whatever it is I'm working through at that moment. To like push my energy through to that. But I want that, but I'm hoping that through that, there could also be like a transcendence, like a meditatively charged transcendence. And I don't think I have been able to connect those two. And I feel like that is the quest. I need to be able to do the things how I do it, get that out. And some of you might be going, well, why don't you just do 2 different things? I could try to do my quick gestural paintings. That's fine. And then maybe work on something more meditative and figure out how to exemplify some sort of transcendence through my painting. But to me, that is, I don't want to say the easy way out, but that doesn't give me much of a journey. It just has me doing more of the same thing. So trying to figure out a way to merge those 2 things is what next year's painting journey is going to be. And hopefully I can figure that out. hopefully something will click. There will be something that I feel like I'm right on the precipice of it right now. So, but in order to do that, I need a space to do it where I'm not worried about the space, and I need solitude, and I need, like, what's that saying? For every 1 hour of painting, of good painting you get, you need like 4 hours of doing nothing before that, before you get to the good painting, you know? And I just have not had that kind of time to be able to put those things together. I don't know. So that's kind of the painting goal. And if I end up in a place that's big enough to where I can actually get my equipment out, there is a part of me that would love to make another Creeperson album. And I know at the end of every year, I tease this, that I'm going to do this. Or even just work on another project that's not just acoustic guitar and singing. Like, I've done that to death. But I would just love to be able to, like, quietly paint. That would be amazing. And hopefully I find time to, and I can make time, but finish the novel. And even if I just write that one novel, and then kind of hang my boots up for novel writing after that, that would be fine. But at least literary fiction, because I basically think that's what the eyeball book is. As far as genre fiction, I feel like next year might be the year where I look for writing partners, where I map out different things to just create IPs, so I can sell the IP to bigger things like television or film. Not to be a dick, but genre fiction is genre fiction because of how quick it churns out payment. It is an art form, but it is, I would say, probably lower art, to where, and this goes back to the pulps, where people did it quickly to make money. And yes, their different genres are really exciting and fun. And if you love a genre, it's easy to write in it, and you could create all these worlds and the whole thing. But in today's marketplace, you want to try to monetize every aspect of an IP, and it's important shit. It's your future, it's your kids' future, you know. You have to really be thoughtful about how you do those things. So maybe getting writing partners to help me put some of these IPs together that I have, and make them kind of flourish, because I just don't have the time to do all of it. And if I'm honest, I would rather just play with some paint than spend 16 hours a day slamming keys. I would rather spend 2 hours a day, like, having fun typing, instead of 16 hours a day, like, in a manic rage, just like, that is fun, but, like, you can't do that all the time, you know? That's like a, like, 1 day a week thing, maybe. And if you force it, like I have done in the past, you end up burnt out and then you don't write for a month. And then, like, yeah, at the end of the day, I wrote more words over the course of 3 months than some people write all year. But I don't like those lows when I can't do anything because I'm burnt out. It makes me feel like a fraud. It makes me feel like you can't do this. It's like that nasty voice, like you can't do this. Look at you. What you typed a bunch of words for like a week straight. Good job. Now you're not doing anything, you loser. So I go through all of those things like all of us do, you know. But I would just rather spend 2026 building structures and infrastructure and stuff to where all of the things that I do are like kind of self-propelling, or what's the word? Perpetual motion machines, you know. That would be great. And I think it would, my recent health scare, I'm not going to lie, has made me kind of want to rethink how I do certain things and have a little more presence of mind when I'm putting projects together. Now, in 6 months, I might go, you know what? I miss the chaos of not knowing what the fuck I'm doing and just like jumping off the cliff without looking. But right now, I think setting systems up to be able to do those things will be a lot better. And in 2026, mark my words, my marketing strategy for everything I do is getting a complete overhaul. Complete overhaul. It's so funny. I was looking through notes from the last 10 to 20 years, and I found all of these great marketing strategies that I had like mapped out in my notes, saying this is how I'm going to do this day will be this day will be that, da, 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 and then I'll automate it, and so it'll just go. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Why the fuck didn't I do that? So like, it's like I know how to do all of these things, but I've only implemented maybe about 5% of the stuff that I've always knew I was going to do. But here's the kicker. It's been over 10 years and I haven't done those things. So I would probably be in a much better position right now if 10 years ago, when I initially said I was going to do all these things, that I actually did all those things. But procrastination is the killer of most artistic people. So taking things one step at a time is how we're going to do this. And when you're more of the Renaissance type where you do everything, like it makes it a little bit harder. But if you break these big chunks up into bite-sized pieces, you will be able to enjoy your food without choking yourself and dying. So that's the plan. Looking forward to the poetry collections and new versions of Black Star. So many plans for changes. Yeah, and it's like we have to adapt, you know, like there's probably two things here. One is you have to adapt to the market that you are trying to have a career in. You know, as the marketplace changes, you have to change with it, or else you're fucked. The second thing is you have to adapt your creation model to how you are feeling as a person. If the thing that used to work for you at one point isn't working for you now because you're either bored of it or you just don't have the time to do it, you have to come up with new systems to make that machine work, you know? And if you are that machine, you need to take better care of yourself and figure out how you're going to make those things happen. So these are the things that we will be thinking about for the rest of the year. When I say we, I mean me, but hopefully you will be too, for your own stuff. Whether it is writing books, making movies, or making YouTube videos, you know. I know quite a few of you have decided that this next year in 2026 is going to be the year that you actually start making content on your YouTube channels. And that's exciting. When you first start making those videos, I know it's really hard for us because we have to edit those videos and we see how awkward we are in front of the camera and how and because you're editing for the first time, you really go to town on cutting yourself up. And so like you end up looking like a weird, like French New Wave film, like all crazy, and the cuts are so abrupt and wild. But you get used to it. So I'm very much looking forward to watching all of your guys's new content that you're making. It's really, really cool. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so this year I'm getting Seasons of the Muse out. I'm wrapping up the first two Black Star books for Christmas and New Year's release. And then I'm really fucking hoping, I'm crossing my fingers right here, that I have super awesome news to tell you about the Black Star show next week. Because keeping all of these like really fun secrets has been kind of exhausting. As you guys know, I like to spill my guts all the time. And so the last couple weeks, 3 weeks probably, it's been really hard for me to keep my trap shut. But you know, that's just me. That's how I roll. I just like to run the liquor. But anyway, so I'm also trying to find guests to have on this Sunday live stream that I am now calling CreateCast, is like the podcast version of this. So I have a couple people in mind that I'm going to be reaching out to. But if you want to come on and talk about you being creative and what you do, let me know. If you know of anyone you want me to reach out to have on here, again, let me know. But so before we get any further along, because we're going to be wrapping up here in a second, the Black Friday stuff. So again, Black Friday members are going to get 50% off of chapbooks and paperback books on my store, mattwallart.com. But I think the only discounts on artwork are going to be on certain pieces, and more likely than not, they're going to be the smaller ink pieces or the smaller canvas paintings, like 12 by 12 and smaller. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because most of the other paintings that are on my site are going to be in the show in January, and I don't want to sell the paintings and then like send them to whoever buys them and then ask them to send them back so they could be in the show, and then I'll send them to you another time after the show. It's a nightmare. So all of the discounted artwork, and I hate saying discounted artwork, but it would be nice to, again, get rid of as much stuff as I can before I have to move again, because moving fucking sucks. I'm not a fan of moving, but I seem to do it all the time. So I can't wait to buy a house and just go, this is my tomb. this house is my sarcophagi, and just start like hoarding my life in there. So one day my grandkids could want to like jump off a bridge when they have to go through all these moldy, dusty boxes and find like, I don't know, mummified remains of like rat families that have like got trapped in a box and died like 20 years before. These are the dreams I have for my offspring. So anyway, yeah, Mindy says fingers crossed. So yeah, so it's going to be fun. I'm very much looking forward to everything we're going to be doing. I'm going to try to have videos out every day this week. That is the plan. So I'm working on putting out some more content. It's just been really hard with everything I've been doing lately. So I have some ideas. There's probably going to be some Bukowski stuff. There's probably going to be some art stuff. And maybe some readings. I might do some readings. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, but start thinking intentionally about what you want to do next year. And also think of what are the things that need to be done or put in place in the next 6 weeks so next year can have a smooth transition and you're not freaking out on New Year's trying to come up with your New Year's resolutions and stuff, and your art and your writing is all in turmoil. So take a deep breath, take it slow, and just slowly figure out what you want from next year. Small steps, baby steps, and just come up with what you want to do, okay? Type hard, join the crew down below. I will be doing a members stream tomorrow morning, so I will see my peeps tomorrow. Okay, take care, guys.